Okay, good morning, boys and Pallavi. Welcome back to another session on chapter number 5, Morphology of Flowering Plants. In that, we were talking about how to describe a flowering plant in brief. And the very description in brief would be through two forms. Form number 1 is floral formula. So we are using some abbreviations, and through these abbreviations we are expressing the characters of the plant like this. Then we say floral formula. And once we are comfortable with the floral formula, we know how to write. Then based on the floral formula, what we do? Floral diagram. Look at that. So this is how we express or describe any flowering plant. Floral formula, floral diagram. How to write floral formula? Yesterday we discussed at length, and you must know the codes or abbreviations that we use, symbols that we use. As I said yesterday, BR, when we write BR, it is bracteoles. Okay, bracts and bracteoles, two are there. When you write BRL, that is bracteoles, means small leaflet transparent ones will be there just below the flower on the pedicel. Then green leaflets will be there, that is bracts. So BR, when we write bracts. If a flower has got BR, then we say bracteate flower. On the other hand, bracts are not there, then we say ebracteate flower. Next, calyx. Symbol for calyx is K. Now I gave yesterday small precaution. Even though the spelling of the word is CALYX, don't go with the spelling. It is K. Why? Our common sense says that calyx and corolla both are starting with C. Okay. To avoid confusion, for calyx we are using K, right, and for corolla we are using C, right. So calyx, yesterday we said group of sepals, and sepals mainly they are for protection. Group of sepals present in a flower in the form of a whorl is calyx, and we count how many sepals are there. Is it trimerous flower, tetramerous flower, pentamerous flower, polymerous? How many numbers are there? We will put that. Second, whether all the sepals are united or free. I said yesterday, if united, we will put bracket within the bracket. If they are free, no bracket. Next, C for corolla. Corolla is group of petals. Petals are very, very colorful, nice smell, we say fragrance. Okay, corolla. Here also, I have said yesterday, go to your garden after my class, or even in your field, holdaga. Go to your field, observe if you got a tomato, your daddy is cultivating tomato, see the flower, observe the stem, observe the leaf, observe the root. Then compare that with this, what we are talking. Also I said that the best way to study this chapter is hold a flower in your hand. That is the best way. Directly you can see what I am telling is correct or not, you can verify. Next, P for perianth. What is perianth? Anyone? Pallavi? Yes, anyone? What is perianth? C plus K. Yeah, good. Sepals and petals together. It's called tepals. Sepals and petals. So perianth is the combination of sepals plus petals. and we have got a name for that, tepals. Okay. Next, A for androecium, male reproductive system. We said any flower that has got androecium alone is called male flower, and we gave the technical word staminate flower, stamen. Okay. On the other hand, we are writing G, gynoecium. Gynoecium is female reproductive part, and gynoecium has got three parts, we said: stigma, style, ovary, isn't it? And depending upon the position of the ovary, gynoecium can be either superior ovary or inferior ovary. I think again we gave technical words. Any flower that has got superior ovary, we gave one word. Anybody remembers? Very good. Hypogynous flower. What about inferior ovary? Very good. Epigynous ovary. If ovary is neither superior nor inferior, then perigynous. Very good. So I am happy you are all following it. You are studying it. Good. Next, male. If there is androecium part, we said staminate flower. For staminate flowers, we use this symbol 0 with arrow mark. And for pistillate flower, female flower, 0 under the 0 plus. And like hibiscus, dashala, both are there. Androecium also is there, gynoecium is there. Then you say bisexual. Both the androecium and gynoecium are present. And yesterday I said, when you put 0 and inside the 0 plus mark, then we say actinomorphic. Actinomorphic flower. Someone said, Naveen, I think, radial symmetry. A flower that has got radial symmetry is actinomorphic. Then percentage, if you put like in your mathematics, that is zygomorphic. Okay. That means when you cut the flower from top to bottom in a particular plane, you get two equal parts. Then it is zygomorphic flower. We say laterals, bilateral, two sides. And then when you put the brackets, just now I said it is fusion, united. Petals are united, sepals are united, like that. And if there is a bridge, like yesterday I said in family Solanaceae, we have put this bridge between androecium and C, because the androecium stamens are attached to petals. That's why we put that bridge, A versus C or A over C, that is adhesion. So these are the symbols you must know basically. Then you can write the floral formula. And going with that, once we are comfortable with the floral formula, then floral diagram you have to draw. I am happy that in your class one boy has practiced and put that, at least one. What about others? Yesterday I gave the homework. Draw the diagram, floral formula, post it in our WhatsApp group. Unfortunately, only one boy has put. What about others?
Sir, we had come to school.
Okay, but it doesn't take much time, hardly 10 minutes.
Today we'll do.
Yeah, please post it. Both the families. Today I am going to cover Liliaceae. Yesterday I covered Solanaceae. I want both the floral diagrams, both the floral formulae. Take a photo, put it in the group, right? So this is how you need to draw the diagram. First axis, mother axis. Then outer ring is calyx, that green colored ones. Then actually showing white color, but you can draw very, very colorful ones. Red color you can draw, pink color you can draw, because petals are very colorful. So corolla. Then third ring is androecium, male reproductive staminans. Fourth one is gynoecium, and inside you are showing how many locules are there. So this is how you need to draw floral diagram. Okay. Now I am just making it. Once you are comfortable with that, now this Fabaceae is not there for you. So yesterday I went straight to Solanaceae. See, family Solanaceae we have covered yesterday. Now we are going to third one, Liliaceae. Okay, family Liliaceae. Now, straight away, since you are very familiar with the floral formula, let's go straight to floral formula. This is the floral formula of Liliaceae. Okay, BR. Just now I said, what is BR? Bracts. Bracts are present. So we say bracteate flower. Then 0 with plus. Actinomorphic flower. Very good. 0 with arrow mark and plus. Bisexual. Both androecium, gynoecium are there. Very good. Then P. S. Gowda. P means, just now I said, perianth. Combination of petals plus sepals. Tepals I said. Okay. And how many? 3 plus 3. 3 sepals, 3 petals. Of course, you name it as tepals. So they are arranged in 2 rows with 3 plus 3. That's why you are putting 3 plus 3 and we are putting bracket. Means they are united, they are fused. And what about androecium? A for androecium, how many? 3 plus 3 again. Means 3 stamens in one row, another 3 stamens in another row. But they are not united. All are free. All the 6 are free. And then there is a bridge. A
Addition.
and P. Adhesion. That means the stamens are attached to tepals or perianth. In another way I can put androecium is attached to perianth. Okay. That's why we are putting 3 plus 3. Next. G means gynoecium. How many are there locules?
3, sir.
3 locules. 3 rooms are there. When you cut up on that, when you come to lab, all of you will do individually. Each one of you will do individually. And you will take the transfer section, TS. And somebody will take VS, vertical section. And you yourself with your eyes you can see. And in case you are finding it difficult, you can see under microscope. And all these locules are fused. That's why we are putting it within the bracket. So G we are writing and we are putting 3. But we are silent on one thing. What is that? Is it superior ovary or inferior ovary?
Inferior, sir.
But there you see top they are writing superior ovary. That means he has forgotten. Under G you have to underline. Okay, that correction you have to make. Okay, underline the alphabet G. And based on this, let us see the floral diagram. This is very unique, you see, Liliaceae. Look at the mother axis.
Sir, every flower has different floral diagrams.
Yes. That's how we are. Family wise, at least family wise it will be different. So we are talking of second family. Yesterday we said brinjal family, bajnekai family, or potato family, or tomato family. Today we are talking about another family called Liliaceae. And in this, how to remember this? Every day you are seeing in your home aloe vera. Okay. Gloriosa.
Yes.
And very famous, all of you, not only Pallavi, all of us are very much interested in this tulip garden, tulip plants, isn't it? So you must remember this Liliaceae family as tulip family. Okay. And
Tulip.
aloe vera. This one I think you are very common. Then colchicum, these flowers also you must have seen. Asparagus, this is also there. It is used as food also in some parts of our country, right? And this medicinal value also is there for that asparagus. So remember the family with at least aloe vera. And how to draw floral diagram? Now see, everything is arranged in 3 plus 3. First outer, first put the mother axis, actinomorphic. Then neither sepals nor petals. What are these? Tepals, perianth. Perianth is arranged in 2 rings, outer ring 3, inner ring 3, correct? Just observe it. Yeah. So first you must draw outer 3, then inner 3. Yeah, perianth. 3 plus 3. Are they united?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why we are attaching. See, here attachment is there, attachment is there, attachment is there. So we are putting within bracket. Next, whether the androecium is attached to perianth? Stamens are attached? Yes, attached. So we are putting bridge,
Adhesion.
adhesion. Then gynoecium. How many rooms are there?
3.
3 rooms. We are showing 3 rooms. 1, 2, 3. And in each room, ovules will be there. Okay? So this is how you see when you take the TS or VS. That we'll do once you come back to school. So basically, how do you describe? Inflorescence is solitary. Cymose. I want you to remember this word. We said based on the arrangement of flowers on the stem axis, there are 2 types of inflorescences, cymose and racemose. Remember, I gave differences also between cymose and racemose.
Cymose means jointed.
Yes, jointed. Even in racemose also jointed only. But only thing is how the flowers are arranged. That depends on the cymose in a particular fashion, racemose in another particular fashion. Okay. So already we talked about that, and I showed the diagram also. That is, basically inflorescence is what? Arrangement of flowers on the floral axis. We say peduncle. So in racemose, main axis of inflorescence has indefinite growth. You have seen. Okay. Try to recollect from your memory. Racemose stem will be lengthy, and in cymose inflorescence, the growth of the main axis is limited, and it gets terminated, and at the terminal point there will be a flower. Okay, and the arrangement is basipetal, from base to top. I said small flowers will be there at the base, big flowers will be there at the top. Whereas in racemose it is ulta, reverse. So just go through once. I said 3 differences between racemose and cymose inflorescence. Next, we said cymose often umbellate clusters. The just like a group of flowers will be in one place. That's called cluster, right? Just now we said flower is bisexual and actinomorphic. Perianth, I said I use the word tepal. Sepal plus petal is equal to tepal. How many are there? 6 are there. 3 plus 3. Often united into tube and valvate aestivation. Anybody can tell me what is this valvate aestivation?
Touching, sir.
Yes?
They are touched.
Yeah, they are touching each other. That is valvate aestivation. And then androecium, 6 are there. Just now you saw in that floral diagram, they are arranged in 3 plus 3, 2 rows. Gynoecium, 3 rooms are there. Okay. Tricarpellary, 3 carpels are there. Syncarpus. Syncarpus means they are fused. Superior ovary, I think I told you to correct that. I think he has forgotten to put that underline under G. So superior ovary. And trilocular, as I said, 3 locules will be there with many ovules. And placentation, we talked axile placentation. Again, just go through the diagram that I have given. What is axile placentation? And fruits, either it is a capsule or berry. And seed, as we said yesterday, endospermous, means lot of endosperm will be there. Okay, endosperm will be plenty. Now, why should we study this family? What is the importance of this? Is there any use for us? So
Medicinal use.
there are many plants which are ornamental. Of course, you know many Kannada movies also. Your directors, producers, actors, they go to Switzerland, they go to Finland, isn't it? There acres and acres of tulip gardens will be there. They shoot many songs there, and you appreciate all the beauty of the tulips. So they are ornamental tulips. And another one that you must be growing in your own home, Gloriosa, this flower, very beautiful flower with the colorful petals, isn't it? And then the one that you are using, particularly in villages, aloe vera, this is used in all Ayurvedic medicines. Nowadays, even the allopathic medicines, they are extracting liquid from that. What you do if you got near your home or in and around your home, take this aloe vera, take a knife and just chop off that top green one. You will see inside one white or yellow colored tissue, very spongy like. That is highly moisturized. So this is being used to moisturize the skin. So in many beauty parlors also this will be used. So aloe vera has got medicinal properties, and even skin rashes are there, they apply this. Then vegetables, just now I said asparagus, that's used as a vegetable one. And then the colchicines, this is also used again as a medicinal one. So the diagram already I have shown you. Look at that. Asparagus, colchicum, in many Ayurveda medicines, all these are used. So this is the importance of family Liliaceae, and that is the reason why you need to study this. So today after my class, I am expecting you to draw two floral diagrams. One is floral diagram of Solanaceae, floral diagram of Liliaceae. Two diagrams and two floral formulae. Is it okay? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think now, yes. Tell Raghavendra. Yes,
It's clear, sir. Yes.
clear, no? Okay. Now, what you do, I am leaving you a bit early because you need to go for quiz, right? I am closing the session now. Okay, bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Okay then.